Bullet Club.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time with us. This is Leanne Presents. I'm Leanne, your host for this video, and joining me as always is Alan, my co-host. As you've seen from the title card, we're here with our reactions to WWE's latest premium live event, Elimination Chamber, which took place today, Saturday, 24th
Literally
of
finished
February.
about 10 minutes ago.
And in Perth, Australia. It's a rare occasion that we get to watch live, which is amazing. I know it doesn't happen very often for us, so we like to enjoy it while we can.
It's even rarer that we can watch live, do our reactions and record and get them all up within the sort of couple of hours after the event.
In the UK, it was about 10 o'clock in the morning it started.
Yeah, pre-show started at 9, main show started at 10
Yeah, so
a.m.
It was pretty nice. I guess we'll start by talking about the kickoff show. We don't usually say much about it, especially in WWE, because they don't normally have matches. There is a match here, but we'll get to that in a second.
They stealth announced it on the press conference.
Yes. First, we want to address something that was said.
We want to address Megan Morant.
Who we don't know if this information came from her or if she was given it and didn't challenge it. But they were talking about where this event's being held, in Perth, Australia, which is in Western Australia. And the comment was that Western Australia is bigger than all of Europe combined, which we heavily dispute.
Hey, Leanne, you know that phrase, I'll tell you when you start telling lies? You're telling lies.
Telling lies.
You're absolutely telling lies.
I'm not quite sure what she or whoever wrote this fact counts as Europe, but we did look it up because we didn't want to challenge it and then find out, oh wait, she was right. So Europe.
Hang on, no, let's start with Western Australia first. How big is Western Australia?
Western Australia is 2.646 million kilometers squared.
Okay.
It's pretty big.
Okay. How big is Australia as a whole?
Australia as a whole, 7.688 million kilometers squared.
Okay. Okay, that's a pretty big number.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
How big's Europe?
So we're going by landmass. So we ignore the water. It's
well,
just the land.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
So some of it's spread out, so it makes it look bigger than it might be. 10.53 million kilometers squared.
So not only is Europe bigger by nearly fivefold in the west end of Australia, it's also bigger than the entirety of Australia.
Yes, yes.
If you were to combine Australia and add on the mass of Western Australia, it would just about be around the same size.
So I'm interested to know if anyone knows where these stats came from that we were given on the show.
Megan Morant, please reach out to us and let us know where you got this from, because you seriously tripping.
I have no idea. So we thought at the time, oh, maybe, Russia, but Russia doesn't. We haven't counted Russia in these calculations.
No,
because it is part of Europe. It's a continent, but not part of Europe. It's an entity, I suppose. I don't know. It's a bit weird, but basically, she was wrong. Australia's big, but it ain't that big. So yeah, that's just to mention that to start. But on to the match that was on the kickoff show. Like you said, Stealth announced at the press conference. No build-up whatsoever.
Nope, none.
Fine. We didn't expect it for kickoff show. We've got for the Women's Tag Team Championships, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, defending against Candice LaRae and Indi Hartwell. So Indi is from Australia. So she was she got lots of cheers and a good pop for her. And they had a match.
Yep.
It was fun. It was alright.
It was alright.
It wasn't bad. There wasn't exactly anything special that happened. But as a sort of a warm-up for the crowd and to introduce straight away an Australian native who could sort of get the crowd on side, which they definitely did. There were already chants of "We want Indi" the moment they started.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah. The crowd were into Indi, but I've written crowd were into Indi, but not much else, which I think is fair.
Yeah, but Indi Hartwell looked so happy when she was in the ring. She's like, "I'm in front of my home country, and this is great."
I was going to say hometown then, I was about to slap you.
It's a big country. yeah, it was nice to see. But there wasn't a huge amount that really happened. It's quite a standard match, so to say.
Just want to adjust your jumper there because the mic might be rubbing against it.
Oh no, thank you. So the finish, unless you got anything else?
Nope. No, meh.
Oh, do you want to say, we did say what our predictions
Oh, yeah. So we did, last night when I noticed there was a new match, we did sort of talk about it. We forgot to update the predictions. We did both say that the Kabuki Warriors were going to retain their titles.
Yeah. Especially with the not having any build-up, that kind of thing. It's like a bit of a throwaway match, really.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, we get to the end where Kairi Sane hits the insane elbow on Candice LaRae, while Asuka holds her in place, and Kairi pins Candice for the win.
Yep, and even through the match, I said, well, Candice is the one taking the hit.
Yes, they wouldn't have Indi getting pinned.
Imagine.
But it was for a kickoff show where they don't want to do anything. I don't want to say they don't want to do anything meaningful, but they don't want any like big impacts. It was a nice warm up for the crowd.
So I'm going to do something different than this particular one. The running time of that match was 8 minutes and 55 seconds.
Oh, yes, I see. Okay, and then we get to the Elimination Chamber, the premium live event that we've all been waiting to see. Some people, those in America, some have been waiting all night long.
There's been a lot of people whinging on Facebook. Oh, it's at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's at 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, this needs to stop. It's the first time you've ever had to do this. Yeah. Knuckle it up. The UK does it every single month. Deal with it.
I think we said in the predictions, if the middle of the night sort of show was a one-off, like once per year for us, I would stay up for it. Because it would be worth it, and it's one-off. Because it happens all the time, we watch the next day because we're not young enough to be doing that kind of thing. But, you know, come on, guys. It's once a year. It's like spreading the WWE to all over the world.
And even sort of you said, well, it's an American company. And I said to you in retort, what is the name of the company?
World Wrestling Entertainment.
Not UWE. It's not United States or America Wrestling Entertainment. It's World Wrestling Entertainment.
And they've always
let other countries have it and stop your bitching about having to stay up late to watch it.
Yeah, fair enough. Once in a blue moon, this is going to happen.
This probably won't happen for another 6 years.
Yeah.
And then in 6 years' time, it'll happen again, and they'll bitch about it all over again.
And then it'll be the 2-day WrestleMania in Australia. And there'll be riots. Oh, imagine getting to watch WrestleMania live.
Yeah.
So,
I've done it before. I stayed up, used to stay up and watch it.
But without having to stay up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, so yeah, your standard sort of introduction to Elimination Chamber. The music for the sort of song of Elimination Chamber is by Motionless in White, which is pretty cool and a good band.
Yep.
And Rhea Ripley.
Seen them live twice.
Nice.
You've seen them once, I think?
I think so. I can't remember. Rhea Ripley reads the introduction. So rather than getting like some random celebrity, they've given it to Rhea, which I think is nice. She steals the show pretty much. It's good. But they explain what the Elimination Chamber is. They show clips from previous ones. It's nice. And we start with the women's Elimination Chamber match. So we got, in the pods, we have Bianca Belair, Raquel Rodriguez, Tiffany Straton, and Liv Morgan. And starting the match off are Naomi and Becky Lynch. Yeah, it was a fun match.
Yeah.
I thought we'd do a quick run through. So the first pod to open is Tiffany Straton.
Yep.
She gets
a good pop.
She does get a good pop. There's a lot of it's Tiffy time signs and chants. Not our kind of thing, but people
I hate that phrase. It's Tiffy time. I get it. I know where you're coming from, but it sounds like you're like a 6-year-old. It's Tiffy time.
On CBBS.
Yeah.
For those who know what that is.
For those who don't, CBBS is a very young children's.
It's for babies. It's a TV channel.
Is it like sort of kindergarten age up to like 8 or something?
It's got stuff for like.
I don't even know.
To have on the TV for tiny babies to be watching, so that there's colour in their face, and then up to like nursery.
Oh yeah, CBBS and CBBC are two different things.
Yeah,
That's
CBBC's for like
toddlers and infants.
CBBC is more sort of children.
Yeah.
CBBS is for babies and toddlers.
Yeah.
It's cute. It has good shows on it sometimes. I might have watched CBeebies when I was training to be a primary school teacher. Sometimes it was educational. Anyway,
The secret life of my wife, ladies and gentlemen.
all credit to Tiffany Straton. Floor gymnastics.
Mhm.
I know she was an Olympic
Yes.
gymnast.
Yep.
And I did enjoy that she sort of she incorporates that.
We're professionals, folks.
I got excited. She incorporates that into her style, although it does sort of make you think. She does all that flippy stuff and then hits someone. Does the flippy stuff really add to it, apart from looking impressive?
Someone will argue that it's all kinetic energy.
Yeah.
You're building up kinetic energy. It doesn't really work.
Doesn't really, but then again, it's sports entertainment, so go for it.
But yeah, I guarantee you, right, all the WWE marks, if someone did that in AEW, they'd be like, oh, what's the point in all that? But yet Tiffy Time
Too
does
much
it.
flippy stuff.
Yeah, and Tiffy Time does it, and it's like...
Yeah, she's a gymnast. She's great. And I really do think she's got potential. Maybe change up the character at some point. But...
No, come on. We're talking about a company who still has the exact same character for Bianca Belair, 7 years later?
Yeah.
Tiffy Time ain't going anywhere.
I know, but if we can dream.
I'd like to think that Bayley fought tooth and nail to change her gimmick when she did it.
And she had so much satisfaction destroying the
Two men things.
The next person to enter is Liv Morgan. She does so many code breakers during this match. It's great. She's got knees.
Knees for days.
And then it's shortly after this that Naomi gets eliminated by Tiffany Straton. It is quite cool. I'm quite glad that she got an elimination in there. Then Rodriguez enters. There's a moment where Rodriguez gets pinned by all three of the others. So Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, and Tiffy. And she kicks out of it.
They literally just fly everywhere. And
it's like a Hulk out situation.
We've seen it before with someone like Braun Strowman, and that's fair enough because Braun Strowman's a beast.
Yeah, but
Raquel ain't got nothing.
But the crowd just makes BS chants.
Oh yeah, they turn really bad, nasty against that, and it looked awful. It was pathetic.
It just wasn't believable.
No,
at all.
It really wasn't. That's like Marco's stunt being pinned by Braun Strowman, Luchasaurus, and Yokozuna, and kicking out.
It's not quite comparable, but I get where you're going. Yeah. I
just thought that was a fun visual.
It's a very fun visual. I would love to see it. Then we have our last entrance.
Sorry, Kill Switch, not Luchasaurus.
Yes, Kill Switch. Bianca Belair comes in and finds out that she cannot deadlift Rodriguez.
Do you think she had the EST pod?
The smallest?
The hottest?
The hottest.
The clammiest? Humidiest?
Humidiest. I'm not sure that one works. Humidist.
Humidist? Yeah, that's kind of... We're getting off topic here.
Yes. So I guess because Rodriguez has big shoulders, Bianca Belair can't quite get her up, which is fine. I found that funny. Then Tiffany Straton gets eliminated by Liv Morgan.
Yep.
Rodriguez gets eliminated by Belair, who did eventually manage to lift her, but then had trouble flinging her over for the move, but she got it. So it was
KOD, wouldn't it,
I think so. But it was over the ropes onto the outside.
I can't remember.
I think. It was a long time ago. And then we come to the sort of finish bit. I know we got 3 people left, but we'll get there. It's interestingly, I haven't written many notes about what Becky did, which is interesting to me now. Oh well. Have you got anything to get to before we get to this finish?
I put some about Bianca powerbomb cell job. Oh, Rodriguez slams it in with a powerbomb, and she
Oh yeah, but wide leg spread, just up and down.
I put that it was decent. There were some slow bits near the end, and you can tell it was getting slow because the camera cut away, focusing on the sunset of the arena instead.
It did,
which was really weird.
It was such a nice sunset, though.
It was,
so pretty.
But you've got up to 6 women busting their asses in the ring.
Yeah.
Come on, seriously. And Liv Morgan was absolutely the MVP of this match.
Oh, for sure. She did so good. And we'll get to it in a second, but she gets the most eliminations in the match. All of those the code breakers and all the other moves she does. She's got so much power in her for such a small person.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. So, Liv Morgan eliminates Bianca Belair.
Yep.
And immediately after, she's just stood back up, turns around, and Becky hits her with a manhandle slam, pins her, and wins.
Yep.
It's like split second
Yeah,
stuff.
it's just like
Blink and you
literally like
miss it.
6 seconds later the match is over. It's like,
Mm-hmm. But it felt quite dynamic. Like it was Becky taking advantage of Liv's got a pin, so she's like still reeling from it, goes down and gets it. So I know we've had some really sudden finishes in previous matches we've talked about that have felt just anticlimactic.
Yeah, like Roman Reigns in that Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah. But this did feel like it made sense. It was believable.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with it.
I think I would have liked to seen Liv and Becky go at it for a little bit, though.
Yes.
But...
So I know Becky did stuff. It clearly didn't grab my attention enough to write notes about it, so...
Yeah. In terms of predictions, we got that correct. We both picked Becky Lynch to win. And the match was 32 minutes and 15 seconds long.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. It's time for filler. Go real quick. So, ad for WWE World at WrestleMania, which is the Fanatics experience.
Yeah. Interactive things and whatnot.
Interactive stuff happening. I know it's probably expensive.
Probably.
And there's an ad for WWE 2K24. There's a video package for Bayley, who is not there.
Nope.
An ad for the biography WWE Legends show.
Yep. It's returned tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. A bit of a showcase ad of Perth itself as a place to visit. And I've written something in the wrong place, so that's it for the filler. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's a sign. It didn't make my list, but it's fine. Right. Put it in the wrong list. So next we have a match for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. So we have Finn Balor and Damien Priest from Judgment Day, accompanied by Dominic Mysterio.
Not to be confused with Tom and Nick.
Tom and Nick Mysterio. And they're defending the championships against the New Catch Republic, who is Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. That team name is going to take some getting used to.
I really don't like that name. In the pre-show, I can't remember which one it was of the panel. They mentioned that R-Truth was not in the building. Apparently, he is in Austria.
Oops. And I really, really, really want to see video footage of him going around Austria asking people for directions to the stadium for Elimination
That'd be
Chamber.
great.
It's got to happen. I just want him to actually be there and for it not to just be a made up. All right.
Hell, I'll take some badly photoshopped photos at this point.
It might already be out there. Who knows? I really enjoyed this match.
Yep.
There were some very close moments in it where we thought that maybe our predictions would be wrong. Yeah. Spoilers! Don't worry about it. I mean,
if you're watching this, you've either seen the show already or you don't care about spoilers.
Yeah.
So
we didn't put spoiler warning at the beginning. Oops.
It's fine.
Too late. Sorry. I really enjoyed the move that Tyler Bate does, where he sort of gets launched into the ropes and just bounces back off.
Yeah, I know the one. I can't remember what it's called. The issue I've got with that is he did a lot of times in this match. He did it way too many times during this match.
So many times. But my thinking was just, how on earth...
Rebound lariat or something?
How does he get that right every time? Because he's got to have his head just below the ropes and his shoulders right on the ropes. So if he's even slightly off, he's either going through or he's smashing his face in the ropes.
Or worse, he could go forward too far and then snap his neck.
Yeah.
You know?
But every time, it's just perfect. And it looks quite bizarre in a way.
Yeah.
It's doesn't seem like a natural movement. But he just bounced back, does a thing. It's great. I very much enjoyed it.
I can.
So when the competitors are being introduced to this match, Dominic snatches the mic off the ring announcer to announce Judgment Day. But we mentioned in the predictions, I think, that they've stopped turning his mic down. They started again. So there's boos. You can hardly hear him. He plows through, in fairness.
And the thing is, right, you're going to have someone who's watching this going, how do you know they turn the mic down? Simple. We're watching at home on a stream where the audio from the mic is piped into the system.
Yeah. Usually you can hear the person talking over whatever the crowd's doing.
Yeah. Same with the commentators.
Yeah, because
it's the same system.
And there's all that of I think there's been in the past, like, where people are coming into the business and the crowd are chanting, so they stop talking. And the line is, "You're the one with the mic."
Yeah.
Just keep
Yeah,
going.
yeah. Push through.
So, yeah, that's how. Because it's clear that they turn that mic down.
And to be fair, he did in this one as well. He did just push through.
Yeah, he did. So
they're probably trying to make it seem like they're not doing that.
Mm.
But they clearly are.
They've been listening to our show.
Yeah, apparently so.
And
the one thing with this as well I liked is that obviously the sun set during the Women's Chamber match. So the crowd got really dark during this one.
Yes.
And the ring was lit up, and I really liked that. It reminded me of the old school stuff,
yeah.
which it should be. You shouldn't be able to look at the crowd and go, I can see that guy's hat, I can see that guy's glass, I can see that woman's hair, I can see that. You know, it shouldn't be that. It should
Focus
be,
on the ring.
There's the ring, there's the competitors, it's all lit up. The crowd, if you see some in the background, fair enough, but don't light them up and be like, hey, look.
Yeah. The focus should be on the wrestlers, not on what the crowd is doing. And
getting a little bit ahead is that obviously you couldn't really see that in the chamber matches because obviously the folks of the chamber, but the Nia Jax Rhea Ripley match later on, you can see the crowd. They must have started lighting them back up again.
Yeah,
it's like
weird. They're weird. So Dominic does interfere during the match. There's a couple of things. And the crowd just chanting Dom is a wanker in various different forms. I think we heard a few different variants of it.
Yeah.
Which is it's really nostalgic for British crowds.
Clash of the Castle.
We've got a kinship between the Australians and us, I think. Past histories and all that.
Let's not go into that.
We won't go into that. The UK did some bad stuff in the past. Anyway.
Show me one country that hasn't done bad stuff.
Very true, very true. Madagascar, because it's all lemurs.
Carry on.
One of the interferences from Dominic is to pull Finn Balor's leg under the ropes to interrupt a pin. The ref doesn't see it somehow.
Yeah, she was right there looking right at it, and she didn't see Finn just going, wee!
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
But then the other, I can't remember who it was.
It was Tyler Bate.
Tyler Bate.
I think it was Pete Dunne doing the pin, I think.
Yeah, so Tyler Bate like spots him and is like, you did that. And then the ref comes over and said, you did that?
Pete Dunne would be more likely to just knock him out.
Yeah, probably. So Dominic gets ejected from the arena, or from the ringside at least. Probably didn't have to go home. It's a long way to go.
Start walking, mate.
Mm-hmm.
See you in about 3 months.
A long way, a bit of a swim. Anything you want to add before we get to the finish?
Nope, just that the match was awesome.
It was very good. So Priest hits a double South Side of Heaven. So he does it
South of Heaven.
I don't know where side
it's based on the Slayer.
It's not in my list.
Album.
So that was, he did it to Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate at the same time.
Sorry, the song, not the album. Seasons of the Abyss is the album.
Rex is here. He's sitting on my sign.
Oh no.
It's fine. We've got a while to go. So yeah, he does that. And as he's sort of doing that, Finn Balor tags in.
Yeah.
Then Balor hits a coup de grace on Pete Dunne, pins him to win. It was a good match. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff going on.
It's just constant. It's frenetic. It was great.
Very talented people. And a good finish.
Just don't like that tag team name.
No.
In terms of the predictions, we got that one correct. We predicted Judgment Day would retain. And the match ran for 17 minutes and 25 seconds.
Okay. Not bad. Filler! So we get a lot of these we've already seen on normal shows, but it's fine. There's the tease for the tag team match at WrestleMania, although they still haven't officially said it's happening. Both Cody and Seth versus The Rock and Roman Reigns. They tease that rivalry, we'll say.
Which we talked about in our prediction video.
Yeah. Then there's the ad for the WWE experience in Saudi Arabia.
Riyadh.
An ad for the WWE Rivals TV show.
Yep. Superstar Sunday.
Another like tourism ad, the promo thingy for a place called The Kimberley.
Some sort of massive stretch or something.
Sounds nice. And then they show the men's Elimination Chamber competitors limbering up in the back. And then we don't go to the Elimination Chamber, so they're going to limber up for a bit, while we have the Grayson Waller effect, with special guests Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
So effectively, this is around about 40 minutes of filler from start to finish.
Yeah, pretty much. So what I don't know why I didn't expect, but Austin Theory is there as well, and he introduces Grayson Waller to come out and then stands around.
So Austin Theory being in Australia, obviously was invited to do some media, some press stuff. The guy is all cocky and he went, oh, well, it's easy, it's all fake, right? And Austin Theory just goes off on him and he's like, I should just smack you right now. You bring me here. He can't stop running his mouth and he just literally walks out. It's like, good on him. Good on him, Austin Theory. That's probably one of the best bits of praise I can give Austin Theory. He stood his ground. He told the guy to get lost, basically, and he just walked out.
Yeah.
Damn straight. Damn straight. Well done, Austin Theory.
Yeah, it's like, whatever you think of the wrestling business, it's not anyone's place to put someone down because of the job that they do. Just despite anything.
Yeah,
right?
that's like us going into McDonald's and being like, ha, you work at McDonald's. Ha.
I know. It's like there is... Even though we know, like, stuff is predetermined, outcomes are predetermined, but the athleticism is real.
Yep.
And that's what people sort of, with the wrestling as fake attitude, just don't
It's like, oh, your job's easy. Yeah, say that to Shotzi, who did a simple thing and ended up tearing her ACL.
But even if you think that, you don't say it to someone who does it.
Yep.
No common sense in some people. Anyways... so Seth Rollins comes out after Grayson Waller obviously starts up the show.
Yep.
And obviously his music starts and everyone starts singing and that goes on for a bit.
5 minutes later, they're still singing.
The music stops and they keep singing.
He literally comes out halfway down the entrance way. I'm like, I've probably got time to go take a leak. I went upstairs to use the bathroom and I do wash my hands, unlike some people. Dried my hands, came back down, and they're still going. And I'm like, really?
You expect it maybe for a match, but this is a talk show. But what I quite enjoyed was they like cut to the ring, Seth's like arms out, just soaking it in, the crowd singing, the music itself has stopped, and you can just see Austin Theory in the corner counting his abs. Like, yeah, fair enough.
It's got to amuse himself somehow, right?
And then Cody comes out. He also has an almost as long entrance, which is fine. So during this, we get a couple of bits of... Some is news, some is not news, I think. So Seth announces that he is days away from being medically cleared, which is great to hear. We had a feeling he would be cleared in time for WrestleMania, but it sounds like it's a lot sooner than we'd expected. Which is great. And he can start like getting himself properly ready for WrestleMania, which is nice. And then Cody essentially just challenges The Rock to a singles match, which is great, I suppose. It's fine. It's like, I'm like, here, like, what's happened to the tag match?
So I'm just like,
match?
meh.
Yeah. I know there's been build-up, but...
Like, I get it. Cody got smacked by The Rock.
Yeah. Just smack him back.
But...
He's even. A little bit. And then there's this whole thing.
The problem is that if The Rock's going to come and wrestle, it's going to have to be on a marquee. So they're not going to do it not on a premium live event, right? They're not just going to go, oh yeah, we'll check it on SmackDown, third week of March.
Can't do that.
You know?
So yeah, it's a bit of a thing. And then Seth goes on this really sort of lengthy speech about how he's in it with Cody and they're going to fight this together, but not like as a tag team. I think it's sort of implied he's going to be in the corner.
Yeah.
He'll be there to help fend off any of the rest of the bloodline that turn up, I suppose.
Plot twist, Seth's in the bloodline.
Oh, there's a blood pact back generation.
They're going to rename it the Blood Shield.
The Blood Shield.
You see that, or the Shield line.
The Shield line.
They should have the Viking Raiders, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and then John Moxley come back as Dean Ambrose in a faction called the Shield Wall.
The Shield Wall, that sounds good. I love that. But there's still room for this to turn into this tag match, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they've done that, and then Austin Theory literally snatches the mic out of Waller's hand, which he's looking very surprised and upset, because this is his show. And then he's essentially, I think, trying to say that he should be fighting Cody instead. And he starts doing Rock imitations. And Seth Rollins is just laughing and really enjoying it. And
it's kind of egging him on at this point.
Egging him on.
Yeah.
Austin Theory sort of going, you think this is a joke? And then Seth Rollins attacks him. And Cody Rhodes attacks. Grayson Waller stands in the corner out of harm's way.
He's just like, yeah, no, I'm done.
And so essentially, Grayson Waller sent the least out of anyone on the Grayson Waller show in his home country. So thanks. That was well worth the spot.
You know what I wrote about that? Pointless waste of time.
It really was.
You literally could have done that on Raw or SmackDown.
And you know what's worse?
People have paid for this.
We go to more filler next.
So in the UK, WWE has obviously WWE Network, but they also have a partnership with Discovery. On Discovery Plus streaming service, you can purchase a pass to watch SmackDown, Raw, any other sports, UFC, etc. But I was on there looking to see what was new while I was waiting for the Elimination Chamber to start this morning, and I saw the Elimination Chamber was listed on there, $14.99. Okay, if I was still paying for PLEs and I got that, I'd be asking for a refund.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's pointless.
And
like the last time they've done something like this on a PLE would be the KO show at WrestleMania with Stone Cold Steve Austin. That turned into a match.
Yeah.
This turned into nothing.
So I really thought
this turned into Grayson Waller pulling Earth out of the pot by accident.
Oh yes, he did. Tried to move a plant pot out of the way so it didn't get wrecked, and just pulled the inner pot out of the decorative pot, and that just Earth went everywhere. Which is probably why there's so much filler next, because they had to clean it up. But it is a bit like, I thought, great, they're doing the Grayson Waller effect in Australia, because Grayson Waller is Australian, and they want to give him something to do and be there.
Put it on the pre-show.
He was a bit of an afterthought in the segment, and it sort of didn't feel like fair to him. Really?
I don't think he's wrestled for a while, and I'm wondering if he's injured again.
Might be. Don't know.
But you could put that on the pre-show.
Yeah.
Easily.
There we go.
And then stick another match on the card.
There's more filler.
Because it stands, we only have 4 matches on the actual show.
Yeah.
Not including the pre-show.
Not good. All right, filler. Let's go through this. NXT Stand and Deliver ad. Pretty good. An ad for Love and WWE, Bianca and Montez. There's an ad for Credit One with Liv and Jey Uso. Jey Uso's like stood on a box because he's big, because he's living it large with Credit One or something.
Yeet.
I think it's Jey Uso anyway.
Could be no yeet, we're not entirely certain.
I still can't. I'm afraid I have trouble with faces in general.
I was honestly zoning out at this point.
Yeah, a little bit. Then there's another like tourism thingy for a place called Margaret River Region. It looked pretty. Then they showcase the WWE stars before Elimination Chamber who are doing the sort of stuff with non-profits and charities, which is great to see. Another tourism thing for Ningaloo River. I don't know if I've said that right.
I don't know.
Ningaloo?
I think I was still zoning out at this point.
It looked pretty. There were turtles.
There were turtles. Did you see Donatello? How is he? Did you see Donatello? How is he?
And then we go to show the chamber competitors still limbering up after all this time, apart from Drew McIntyre, who's just sat on the stairs staring into space and brooding.
I want some iron brew.
Brooding. Terrible.
Give me some Guinness.
Guinness is Irish.
I don't know. It's the closest. What alcoholic drink do they?
Whiskey.
Whiskey, okay. Give me some whiskey.
Good old Scottish whiskey.
Scotch malt.
Yeah. But it's alright, he doesn't have to brood for much longer because the next match is the Elimination Chamber.
Which I was surprised about.
Yeah, we thought they'd sandwich with the 2 either side. Nope. It's fine, it's good. So in the pods, we get Kevin Owens, Bobby Lashley, Logan Paul, and Randy Orton. And starting the match off are Drew McIntyre and LA Knight.
Yeah.
I found with this one that not a lot happened until everyone was in. It was fairly standard until everyone was in the match. That was fine. So
the one thing that you should really probably start off with is
the entrances.
When everyone's coming in. So Kevin Owens comes in, looks around, tests the chain, gets in his pod. Great. Bobby Lashley turns up next, looks around, checks the chain, goes to Kevin Owens' pod, stares him in the face, goes to the next pod, looks at the pod, goes to the other pod.
It's an empty box.
Carries on walking around, then goes back and gets it. It's like, just dude, get in the friggin' pod. Seriously. Out comes who was next?
Logan Paul was
Logan
next.
Paul comes out, does exactly... It's like, for God's sake, this is ridiculous. And I clocked it from the start of the first person coming out, Kevin Owens, to the point where LA Knight and Drew are in the ring getting ready to fight in the bell rings. It's around about 15 minutes of entrances. That's longer than the pre-show match.
Yeah.
That's almost the same amount of time as the tag team title match, and spoiler alert, it's longer than the main event itself.
Just for entrances. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm. Stupid. Just go in, get in the friggin' pods and get the match started.
Yeah. So.
Like I said, if I was buying this on pay-per-view, I'd be livid and I'd be damn well requesting my money back.
You could just cut the show shorter.
Or put on more matches.
Yeah.
Jesus.
God. There's enough filler. You don't need to also fill with entrances, right?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. So the crowd does not like Drew McIntyre at all. I think Australia must be CM Punk fans because they do not like him. There are boos, there's thumbs down. Good thing is they also don't like Logan Paul, so that's a plus. He gets booed a lot. Even I think whenever there was a point of the match, I think quite later on, before he exited his pod, where every time the camera went to Logan Paul, the crowd would start booing.
Yeah.
So it was like on and off for quite a while.
And he was doing that thing like 10-year-olds do, where he breathes on the glass and he's writing stuff, and it's like.
And then he wrote on the glass like in a marker. I'm hoping it's dry wipe or something, because otherwise they're gonna have to replace the.
What they should have done is done it in dry wipe and then have KO go in, because it was about Kevin Owens, and just go in and ram his face on it, and rub it off with his face.
Yeah, that would
have been hilarious.
So.
Who was looks to?
Yeah. So we've got Drew and LA Knight starting, and then Kevin Owens comes out next, then Bobby Lashley, then Randy Orton, and then when Logan Paul is the next to enter, Kevin Owens is just standing right
She's the
by
last
the
one
door.
to enter, yeah.
So as the door opens, Kevin Owens is pulling it open. Logan Paul's trying to pull it shut, but it looks like he's holding it the wrong way to pull it shut. But that's fine.
Yeah, because he's an idiot.
And Kevin Owens gets into the pod and just starts the beat down.
He shuts the door behind him and just starts wailing on him.
So satisfying. So
Thank you, KO.
Brilliant. Drew McIntyre eliminates Bobby Lashley after a claymore. Bobby seems to be injured. He seemed to have tweaked his elbow at one point.
Yeah.
And he's sort of just in the ring, and the doors are opening, and they're like, "You got to get out! You got to get out!" And a bunch of refs run in to try and help him out. I'm like, "Oh, is he actually injured, or is it a work?" Trying to figure it out, and then we are given the biggest clue that it's not a real injury, because AJ Styles somehow appears in the ring and starts attacking LA Knight with a chair.
The problem I've got with this is this is the second year in a row they've done this exact same thing.
So it's like, okay, all right, Bobby's fine. This was planned from the start.
One thing before Bobby goes is he did just careen through Logan Paul right through that glass pod. And he just wrecked him, and it was amazing, and it was so beautiful to watch.
I think that might be where he tweaked his elbow.
Probably.
Or
he did have it heavily wrapped up, so
yeah,
potentially he's got a pre-existing thing.
Quite possibly. But the attack from AJ Styles allows Drew to eliminate LA Knight.
Yeah.
After getting wiggled with that chair.
Yeah.
And then slammed into the chair.
Yeah.
It's
pretty... He Styles clashed into the chair.
Yes. Yeah, then the next elimination is Kevin Owens, who's eliminated by Randy Orton.
Yep.
And then Logan Paul pulls the brass knuckles out of his shorts. And he's like, "Yeah, I've got brass knuckles. I'm gonna..." And he does like almost a Roman Reigns, like,
yeah,
twice. I don't know.
It's like 2 or 3 times,
like, yeah, instead of ooh-ah. So I don't know, he's like trying to steal a thing and make it his own or something. I don't know.
It's because he hasn't got original thought in his brain. I am the table! That's what happens when you give that guy a live mic.
But before he can even turn around, RKO out of nowhere.
I did assume that Randy was waiting for him, and as soon as he turned around, he's going to hit him.
Yeah,
didn't wait for him to turn around.
And it was a big one. It was a hell of an RKO.
Crushed him with it.
Oh, so good. So Orton eliminates Logan Paul after that.
Thank you, Randy.
Oh. So then we have another, like, oh, he's still in the ring. There's stuff happening, and you can just see on the side of the camera, you can see his foot. He's still there.
What did I say?
No.
What did I say?
He's going to do something. He's still got those brass knucks. And he does use them. He hits Randy Orton with it.
Yep.
And allows Drew McIntyre to pin him and win.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
Yep. pretty good.
I thought there was way too much selling in this match. It was very different to the women's. It was very slow, very plodding.
It was slow. I definitely...
You look like you were starting to doze off.
I think, and this was after I'd had my cup of tea. I definitely lost interest at parts. My mind wandered.
Yep.
I wasn't engaged. The thing that kept bringing me back was the weird shadows on people's faces when they were standing in the middle of the ring because the lighting was a bit off. It did pick up towards the end when you had all the crazy stuff going on, but it was very slow.
In terms of predictions, we both predicted Drew McIntyre to win to go on to WrestleMania. We both got that correct.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of length of the match ran for 36 minutes and 45 seconds, so the longest match on the card, beating the women's match by 3.5 minutes.
That's to be expected.
Was it 4.5? No, it's 4.5, sorry.
Did that include the entrances?
No, it did not.
Cool.
Because I'd have to go back and time the women's one as well.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. Okay, filler. So much filler. Come on, guys. All right, World at WrestleMania ad again.
Yeah.
WWE.
No, that's the WrestleMania one.
No, this was the World at WrestleMania one again.
No. Yeah, what I mean is, did they show the World at WrestleMania one early on, or are you thinking the one in Saudi Arabia?
No, they did both of them.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Proves how much I zone out during filler, doesn't it?
Fair enough. WWE shop ad. Now they've got an ad for Rivals and Legends. Yeah. So they combined.
Superstar Sunday. It's the Superstar Sunday advert. Yeah.
And then they have the ad for WrestleMania itself.
The one thing I did like when you saw the Legends biography and the Rivals adverts is they kind of show you who's on this season.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I thought that was really cool.
Nice preview. Stuff like that's fine. I mean, you could put it in the corner.
And it's you wouldn't be able to read it, would you?
No, fair enough.
I mean, that's literally like a 30-second advert.
Mm-hmm. So WrestleMania, 42 days away.
Yep.
Getting close. Mm-hmm. Nearly less than a month.
It's like 6 weeks. Something like that.
6 weeks. Another tourism thingy for Golden Outback. I don't mind the tourism stuff because part of the draw of having wrestling events in your country or your town is to get tourism drawn in. So showcasing the area it's in is a great way to.
We should probably go back and watch Clash of the Castle and see what they did for Cardiff.
Yeah.
It's not my hometown.
This is Ely. Lovely.
This is Splot. This is Chippy Lane.
Hardly anyone's going to get those.
Is it Chip Alley?
They're pretty rough areas in Cardiff.
Which one do you call that now? Chippy Lane, Chip Alley? I've forgotten.
I forget what I call it because everyone calls it different. I think it's Chippy Lane.
I used to always call it Chip Alley.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's not even. You can't even call it Chip Alley anymore.
There's still a load of chip shops down there. It's lively at 2:00 in the morning.
What, when the Yanks are watching Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, we're all at Chippy Alley getting over our drunkenness.
Speak for yourself.
And then...
Never been drunk in my life, thank you very much.
The surprise, I think, of the evening, I suppose, is Triple H is there.
It's annoying because he was already stood in the ring.
Yeah, we didn't see.
And then they played his music, and it's like,
yeah, Triple H is there. So we're like, ooh, is he?
He's like, we're running long. Don't cut the filler. I'll just go to the ring while the filler's on. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nothing exciting. No. He just announces the attendance record, which is 52,590. God, it
was bigger.
And then there are fireworks.
All in was bigger.
All in was bigger. But yeah, then fireworks for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But now, it's time for your favourite segment.
Pat McAfee wasn't there, so we can't do Pat McAfee's.
Oh, it's upside down.
It's upside down.
The outsides of the PLE. The outsides of the PLE. Ooh, it's rough. Oh, this sounds rough. Yeah, there were a lot of signs that I wrote down, but I had to pick. I will briefly mention as a special mention the one that I'd written in the wrong section earlier, which was Cult of Personality. I wasn't going to put it in the top 3 because he wasn't there.
If that doesn't say that it's CM Punk country, I don't know what does.
Cult of Personality.
And then it was shown to you in the Walrus fight, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I said, is that how Cody Rhodes says it?
Bless him. Okay, top 3. In third place, Triple H is my daddy.
Oh, dear God.
Second place, Little Jimmy says, "G'day, what's up?"
From Austria.
And number 1, Nia injured me. Sometimes it's just like validating seeing signs like that because it means that other people think the same things as we do.
Yeah.
Nice. And that's the top 3. And that's the and signs of the PLE. The and signs of the PLE. And I feel like I need to find some time to do more damage to that sign.
What we just need is the universe to not have any good signs, so we have to wreck it again. Just please promise me you're not going to set me on fire again.
We'll see. I won't do the same thing twice. We need to be original. We need to one-up it.
So it's nice acid.
It's time for the main event. I didn't give you a chance to join in.
You didn't.
Sorry.
No, you didn't.
That was all for me.
Story of my life, ladies and gentlemen. Happy wife, happy life.
So the moment you've all been waiting for. It's for the Women's World Championship. We have Rhea Ripley defending against Nia Jax. It's not too bad of a match. It was okay. There were some good moments. There were some not so good moments. Some highlights for me, which unfortunately might be just laughing at people. But here we go. So Nia Jax's favorite move is sitting on people, which is fine. So it's fine. It's what she does. She's making use of her frame. Okay. So she tries to jump and sit onto Rhea Ripley. Rhea rolls out of the way. Nia Jax hits the ground with her butt.
I know where you're going now.
I yell, my hole! Because for those of you who have been following Nia Jax, that was something that she said.
Oh, years ago.
Very loudly.
I think she goes
landing on her butt on the side of the apron.
I think she was trying to do a leg drop on someone or something, and they moved.
Yeah,
and she
on
lands
the side of the
on
apron.
it, and she just screams, "Ah, my hole!"
And I thought, oh, that's so original of me. And then the crowd,
not even 20 seconds later,
the crowd chants, "My hole, my hole, my hole," and I'm like, okay, validation, but also, I'm clearly not as original as I thought, which doesn't sort of surprise me, but my whole. So that was a highlight. I did find, it's again, maybe laughing at people, there was quite a dramatic moment. Nia Jax slams Rhea Ripley into the announce table. Her back hits a monitor that's upright. It looks gnarly as anything.
Hopefully the leather protected it. They're
probably designed so it'll fall down really easily.
But if you look at the plugs in the back, they're sticking up.
I'm sure she's fine. But then Nia tries to follow this up by she's going to land an elbow drop onto the table. In order to do this, she obviously needs to be higher up. So she climbs on a wheelie chair. Like an office chair. Like the one I'm sitting on. You can't. A wheelie
swivels.
Chair. Swivels. It's got wheels. It moves about.
It moves.
And we're just watching it she's going to die. She does land the elbow drop.
If I'm Nia, I'm going on the barricade behind the announce desk because it's sturdy. It's thicker. You can put your feet on it. You can get a better launch pad.
I think it's trickier to get up that high.
The problem with the chair is it's lower than the table.
It is. So she had to jump up.
Looked awful.
But there's every chance the chair could have just slid out from under her, and she could have really hurt herself.
She could have hurt one of the commentators too. If Corey Graves was standing behind her and that chair gets slammed into him. Dear God.
She lands it, and actually it doesn't look too bad to move itself.
I don't know, I thought it looked awful.
You've focused on the chair.
No, I was focused on everything. I think it looked awful. If you're trying to do a high maneuver, you don't jump from a point lower down. Basic physics 101, right?
The camera was pretty wobbly too. It was a bit hard to see it, but I think the cameraman was probably worried about the chair as well. Anything you want to add before we get to the finish?
Rhea tried to lift Nia up too much.
Yes.
And it's obvious. It kind of throws back to WrestleMania, I think it was 3 with Andre and Hogan. And Hogan's trying to lift him up. And he only tries twice. And then he stops until he wears him down. Rhea just keeps trying and trying. It's
she has other things in her arsenal that she could use. She could do submissions. It would have been so much better to try submissions rather than keep going with that.
Yeah. It was weird seeing Nia Jax try and do submissions.
Yeah.
That was what the hell's going on?
Mm-hmm. But she used to do a lot of that, didn't she?
Not submissions.
It's
she always used her size.
Joint manipulation and stuff. I'm sure she used to do
Not that I can remember. But then again, I zone out from Nia Jax. I don't really like Nia Jax. So. Anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. So it's like one's trying new things and the other one just isn't trying anything new. And it's not the order that we'd expect. There we go. Okay.
If anything, Rhea should have been trying to submit Nia.
I know. So after many attempts, Rhea does manage to get Nia up and just about hits a riptide.
Just.
Ooh.
This is after the suplex off the top.
So Rhea pins Nia to win. I didn't think it wasn't a bad match.
Yeah.
I did feel like in the end, Rhea won without having much successful offense in there at all.
Which I hated for Rhea.
Yes, because
she's in her home country, for God's sake.
She's better than that.
And she just got beaten down.
Yeah, she gets beaten down, hits one or two moves and wins. It's not quite realistic.
That's effectively right. Put yourself in the shoes of Clash of the Castle, right? Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. That's like having Drew come out and get beat down completely, no offense, and then hit one Claymore and win.
Yeah.
Awful.
And all they needed to do was have her do other things other than trying to lift. But I think they were going for the, is she going to get her up? Is she going to get her up?
You can do that, but do other stuff in between.
Yeah.
Use your speed. You're obviously quicker than Nia. You're more nimble than Nia. Try and do submissions.
Yeah.
Sleepers. She put a guillotine on her at one point. That clearly worked and tried to get Nia off the mat. And it's like, oh, for God's sake, come on.
But it was good to see Nia trying those other things and trying to do submissions and stuff to show that she's not just going to be relying on the size.
Injuring people.
Yeah.
In terms of the predictions, we did both predict Rhea Ripley to retain, and we got that correct. And the running time of this match was 14 minutes and 25 seconds.
You got a full house.
Yeah.
We won everything.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep.
I'm like Kenny Omega. I'm the sweeper.
So we drew.
So, okay. The reasoning I did when I got to a point, I was like, I think it was when the men were having their entrances, and there was like 15 minutes of just entrances.
Yes.
I was like, oh God, I need to get the times of these matches. So, the show, including the pre-show, ran for 274 minutes, with 109 minutes and 45 seconds of in-ring bell-to-bell. Okay. That's 39.9%. If I'm buying this on pay-per-view, I am livid right now. Okay? Not including the pre-show, that's 214 minutes from the start of Elimination Chamber to the end. That's 100 minutes and 40 seconds of in-ring action for 46.9% of in-ring action versus filler and entrances.
So it's still not even half.
And you know what? I'm going to do this for AEW next weekend with Revolution, and we'll see how that goes.
I can already tell you how that goes. They put matches on their pre-show.
Yeah, yeah. And there's probably going to be 70s or 80% of in-ring time.
Most likely.
Maybe late 60s, depending on, well, it's Sting's final farewell, so that might take a bit of time. Yeah, 65 plus, I reckon, is the percentage. But if I'm paying for this, I am pissed.
What I didn't mention, something that annoys me, is the way that, I've mentioned it before on other reactions, is the sponsorship stuff and how garish it is. I get it. They need to get money from somewhere, because clearly they're not rich enough.
And the slip-up. Well, actually, come on, Vince McMahon needs to pay his lawsuit somehow.
A good thing, it seems to be sometimes they try and put the rubbishy sponsors on the women's matches more than the men's matches. I'm just going to let him calm down to himself there. But men's Elimination Chamber had a stealth, to start with, stealth sponsorship from Slim Jim. They didn't mention it. It wasn't said at all until it was coming close to the first pod opening.
Yeah.
And right in the middle of the screen.
It was huge.
A countdown. Slim Jim countdown. The one in the number 13 was Slim Jim's. It was just bright red and orange.
It was there for like 2 seconds, and then it got like removed, and it didn't come back.
I was like,
in the middle of the
what is
screen.
that? Fair enough. It was a mistake.
Yeah.
The rest of the time it went in the corner, but it's still so distracting. It's just bright. And okay, they didn't have mascots. Great. They didn't have it flashed over the like sides and the screens. Great.
Well, they wouldn't see him because of the chamber.
I feel like
They're going to have screens in the chamber next to them.
it's just...
Or the pods are going to have it, instead of having glass, it'll be one big screen.
It's just, you can do more subtle sponsorship stuff that's still effective but isn't distracting. It winds me up, and it's just like, that's just my hill to die on, I suppose. Anyway,
overall, what do you think?
it was alright.
Yeah.
There were slow bits, there were some fun bits, but the filler felt like more than ever a little bit. I get they have to prep the ring and all that for the change.
I mean, considering that Triple H said something along the line, I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember the exact thing that was said. He said something along the lines of, "This will be a night to remember with history being made."
When?
We predicted everything.
And we're not experts.
I'm
We're
honestly,
punters.
I'm not remembering this chamber.
No, it wasn't that.
The main
memorable.
event, Rhea deserved to be in the main event.
Yes.
Did she deserve to have a match like that with Nia Jax? Oh, hell no.
Yeah, it's not up there. It's not up there with great PLEs or great Elimination
And having a
Chambers.
bloody talk show, Grayson Waller effect that comes to nothing on it.
Put it on the pre-show.
Put it on the pre-show, put it on SmackDown, put it on Raw.
Fair enough if it turns into a match.
Yeah.
But, nah.
Well, that's what I was watching when Seth came out. I was like, he's not in ring gear. Cody comes out in the full suit. He's not in ring gear. This ain't turning into a match.
And give the host, who is the person from the country, something more to say. Give him more. Anyway.
Favorite match of the card?
Men's Tag Team Championships.
Absolutely agree. 100%. Absolute banger.
Yep, it was really good.
Absolute
Highlight
banger.
of the show, for
Yeah,
sure.
without a doubt. Least liked match.
I'm going to go for the women's tag team. It
Okay.
was pretty close, but I've gone for that one because it just felt like it could be on any show, not memorable, and it was just there to to fill out the pre-show.
For me, I think it's going to be Rhea and Nia.
Fair enough.
I just thought it was awful. Nia just bulldozed, and Rhea barely got any offense in and won the match. And it was like, I get the underdog story. There's going to be someone watching going, well, that's the whole point. It's the underdog story. Well, no, you take Rhea Ripley to her home country, right? You put her in front of her family, right? And then she gets slapped around. Like, come on.
Not good. I think
Rhea is better than that. She could do a lot more than that. And I feel that's just the obvious going, no, Nia's a powerhouse. We just need to build her up.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a beating. And I feel really bad for Rhea for that.
Definitely.
It was awful.
I think that match went up a bit in my rankings because of my whole thing making me laugh so much. It's not a good reason to like a match, but if it makes you laugh, it sticks in there.
Yeah, and obviously the percentage of wrestling to filler was just awful.
Yeah, it's not great.
All right, Leanne, what's next?
It's the AEW one.
Revolution with Sting's final match.
Yes.
So we'll have our predictions up, I want to say Thursday?
We'll try.
Maybe Friday, depending on how things go this week. It'll be one of those 2 days.
Yeah.
I need to look at it. Before that, though, we obviously have our Coming Soon, which is coming up Monday. However, for anyone who's stuck around this long, you're getting an inside scoop. We've got the next part of our Resident Evil 3 board game playthrough going up later this week.
I gotta get editing.
So look forward to that one.
Yay!
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about this? Or anything in general? I mean, we all know Revolution's going to top this by miles.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. On to the next, I suppose.
You haven't seen the match card yet. Holy
No, I
crap.
haven't. Yeah, we got a bit of catching up to do.
Yeah. Okay, take us on, Leanne.
All right. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you always.
Mega Morant, sort your facts. Sorry.
Fact check your stuff. Please like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell to be notified when we drop new videos. Follow us on socials. Our link tree is in the description below. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Talk to us. Let us know what your favourite match of the night was. If you've got any other facts about what Australia is bigger than, let us know. True or untrue? Or maybe we'll go just for untrue. Untrue facts about what Australia is bigger than in the comments on our socials. Let us know what you think. And I think
Australia's bigger than the world.
Australia is bigger than the world.
Australia's bigger than Jupiter.
I have heard Australia is technically bigger than the moon, side to side. Based on the like cross section of the moon, Australia is bigger. That's a true one. Enjoy
bigger
that.
Than Jupiter.
Thanks, QRI. I think that's it.
If you put all the planets in the solar system together, Australia is bigger than that.
It's so big. So until next time, don't get crushed by Australia taking over the entire planet.
And do your damn research and fact check.
Bullet Club.